Hey everyone, my name is Sean, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you my ABC Dragon Buster deck. For those who maybe remember, the VWXYZ Dragon cards were originally used by Kaiba in the original Yu-Gi-Oh! And then inherited by Chaz Princeton in Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. ABC Dragon Buster is a remix of this old style of play, this old little archetype, and the cards that Konami introduced in order to remix it are just a lot better and a lot stronger than before. So this deck is all around ABC Dragon Buster. So let's get to the deck profile, and I'm going to show you some gameplay of how this deck works in action. So I play 3 copies of A Assault Core, 3 copies of B Buster Drake, 3 copies of C Crush Wyvern. All of these cards are Union monsters, and that makes them all searchable by Union Hanger. And they all have the standard Union effect of being able to equip themselves to a monster and unequip themselves to special summon it. You don't really play them for their effect, you really play them because they are the material pieces for ABC Dragon Buster. They do have unique effects. If you recognize that the colors of the cards, you have A is yellow, B is green, and C is purple. That is because when they are equipped to a monster, they provide you immunity to that kind of effect. So A provides you immunity to monster effects, that's why it's kind of orangey yellow. B provides you immunity to spells, that's why it's green. And C provides you immunity to traps, that's why it's purple. Last of all, they all have a really good floating effect, and that is when they are sent from the field to the graveyard, they provide you an additional resource. A gets you a Union card from your graveyard to your hand. Not really used too much, but it's pretty okay. B is the best one because when it's sent from the field to the graveyard, adds a Union card from your deck to your hand. So you kind of always want to go to B to search out your pieces. And then C allows you to summon one from your hand to the field. You very rarely get to use this effect, but it's okay and sometimes can help extend your plays if you need it. Next in the deck, I'm going to skip down a row. We play 3 copies of Galaxy Soldier. This is because we can easily make Cyber Dragon Infinity in this deck. We're playing a ton of light-based machines, and so we can play Galaxy Soldier along with Cyber Dragon Infinity as a package in this deck. Speaking of light-based machines, we have Gold Gadget and Silver Gadget at 2 of each. Gold Gadget and Silver Gadget are really just there to summon more monsters to your field, but also to make rank 4 plays. The ideal rank monster you want to summon is Gear Gigan X, who can search out more machines from your deck or graveyard and add them to your hand. So that's kind of why it's there. They're not that good, and if I was to cut something out from the deck, I would probably turn to these first, but you know, they're okay, and they're fun, and they kind of have a synergy with the deck. We next have our 4-card Symphonic Warrior engine. This engine works by using Symphonic Warrior Guitar's Pendulum effect to summon out Symphonic Warrior Mics. Symphonic Warrior Mics is a level 5 monster, and when it is summoned to your field, you get an extra normal summon for that turn. So it really helps you kind of summon more monsters from your hands, get them out of your hand and put them on the field, which is ideally what you want. Because he's level 5 as well, he works well with Galaxy Soldier, so he can make Cyber Dragon Infinity also a little bit easier to make as well. Finally, even if you draw these cards a little bit too early before you get to summon them via their effect, they are decent scales. You have a 7 scale in Guitar and 1 scale in Mics, and so Mics and Guitar together can pretty much pendulum summon most of your monsters in your deck, so they kind of work well for that. We now have a massive Danger package here. Dangers don't really have a lot of synergy with this deck. They don't really help the deck too much, but they do kind of work on their own, and they also work really well when they're discarded, which is very, very important for your boss monster. We have 1 copy of Bigfoot, 1 copy of Chupacabra, 2 copies of Mothman, 1 copy of Nessie, 1 copy of Thunderbird, and 2 copies of Jackalope and Tsuchinoko. The idea behind this is that whenever these cards are discarded, they give you a beneficial effect. Bigfoot can destroy a face-up card on the field. Thunderbird can destroy a face-down card on the field. Chupacabra can summon a danger from your graveyard. Mothman can let you draw a card and discard them, then discard one, which is nice because you want your pieces in your graveyard, ideally then in your hand. You have 2 Jackalope, which can summon out a danger card from your deck. Nessie, which can add any danger card from your deck to your hand, and finally Tsuchinoko, who summons itself back when it is discarded. This works really, really well as fuel for your ABC Dragon Buster because it likes to discard for its main effect. Then that makes out all the monsters. For the spells in the deck, we have Card Destruction. because you kind of want to get through your deck as soon as possible. Your deck is a bit slow to start sometimes, and so sometimes you just want to kind of turbo out your resources, get them into your graveyard, and they're better in the graveyard than necessarily your hand, so or your deck. So card destruction kind of helps there. Foolish Burial similarly sends a piece from your deck to your graveyard, so if you already have A or B, you can send C, or whatever you're missing. Monster Reborn is Monster Reborn. Pot of Desires allows you to draw more, because you're playing so many monsters and you're playing multiple copies. Ideally, you want to play Pot of Desires once you've kind of managed to get at least one copy of each piece between your field and your graveyard. You can then play Desires and not have to worry about banishing any more pieces, because the rest of the deck is just flavor. We have Terraforming and Union Hanger. Union Hanger is an amazing field spell card and is what really helps this deck get going. When you activate Union Hanger, you can add any of your pieces from your deck to your hand, and then when you summon a piece, it equips a different one from your deck to the field as an equip spell to one of these pieces, so it gets you 2 pieces just with one spell, which can really help you get to your ABC Dragon Buster faster. The final card is Upside Goblin. Feel free to change it if you want to, or adjust it as you will. For your extra deck, we have our boss monster, 3 copies of ABC Dragon Buster. ABC Dragon Buster is amazing because, like I said, it has the ability to contact fuse, but it can contact fuse from your field and your graveyard. So by discarding your pieces to the graveyard, you can still use them. And the way you kind of ideally want to play this deck is you don't want to kind of just go for Dragon Buster immediately. You want to try and use your materials, use your pieces, make as many different rank monsters, make as many different link monsters, kind of play through your opponent's interaction as much as you can, and then once you've kind of exhausted your resources, then make your Dragon Buster, because then Dragon Buster can kind of control and dominate the field. Dragon Buster's second effect is that you can discard a card, target a card on the field and banish it, which is why it works so well with your dangers, because they then make this effect really basically free. And then the final effect for this all is that during your opponent's turn, you can tribute your Dragon Buster and summon any 3 of your banished Light Machine monsters with different names. Basically, you can get 1 of each of your pieces back to the field. This is really, really nice because it kind of gives you a little bit of a loop where you can continuously summon Dragon Buster, then during your opponent's turn, summon your pieces, then during your turn, summon another Dragon Buster. And remember, every time these go to the graveyard, they get you more cards. So you can kind of just generate so many resources by constantly summoning Dragon Buster and then summoning your pieces back to the field. So that little loop is really, really nice, but just don't go through it too fast, obviously. For the extra deck, we've talked about Cyber Dragon and Infinity already. You have that as a package. Gear Gargant X is your ideal rank 4 because it searches out more machines from your deck. But if you don't need to use it, we also have a BUSTER as a really, really good rank 4 for this deck. And then you've got your Link based package. We have 1 Appaloosa, 1 IP, 1 Nightmare Phoenix, 1 Nightmare Unicorn, 1 Platinum Gadget, 1 Clifford Genius, 1 Saryuja, and Union Carrier. Out of these cards, I'll say Union Carrier is really good and really important because if you don't have Union Hanger, Union Carrier can almost get you a piece out as well, which helps this deck's consistency quite a bit. Clifford Genius and Platinum Gadget, I'm not going to lie, I don't really use these cards too much. And if you wanted to take something out of the extra deck, I probably would turn to these 2 cards first. You don't really need them. The rest of the deck kind of does itself, but I've kept them in just to see how good and effective they are. So if you've tested this deck out and you find these to be really good in this modern day and age, let me know. But at the moment, I don't really find them to be that good. But you can run them, they are pretty good. Platinum Gadget gets you more summons and summons more machines in the field. Clifford Genius does some searching, but could also target a face-up card on both fields and negate them. So it does have decent effects, but I just don't use them that much. The last thing I want to comment on is how really amazing IP Masquerena works with ABC Dragon Buster. If you don't know, IP Masquerena allows you to use monsters on your field during your opponent's turn to do a link summon. Now, why this works well with ABC Dragon Buster is because if you use Dragon Buster's final effect to summon back 3 pieces back from your banished pile, you can use her to basically do up to a Link 5 play. And we're not playing any Link 5 monsters, we're playing Link 4. But this means during your opponent's turn, you can summon a full power Appaloosa above the Goddess, which gives you 4 monster negates. Or you can summon Saryuja Skull Dread, which allows you to draw 4 cards and then shuffle back in 3 cards, which allows you to fix your hand. Being able to combine these 2 cards well together makes this really, really useful. And IP also isn't limited to summoning these two. She can also summon like your nightmares, so during your opponent's turn, you can destroy a spell or trap, or shuffle back in a card from their field to back into their deck. So IP and Dragon Buster are best of friends, they love each other. So we're now going to switch over and we're going to go to some gameplay and I'm going to show you what this deck is like in action. Okay, so here we are into an online game here, and I'm going to try and just give you a quick example of what ABC Dragon Buster, or what this deck can do in a real life game. Now this opening hand here, I'll be honest with you, isn't really that good. Monster Reborn has nothing to really summon. Tsuchino Jackalope is not really useful because I have nothing to discard it with except its own effect. Upstart Goblins, whatever. Desires can be useful, so hopefully we can get some use out of that. And then Test Terraforming. Terraforming is really good because it gets us to Union Hanger, but we only really have one starter in this hand, so we're going to try and make this work as best as we can. My opponent here is going to use Ties of the Brethren. This allows you to pay 2,000 life points and then choose a level 4 monster you control. And then for the rest of the turn, you cannot special summon other monsters except those 2 monsters you summon. Now he's going to use them in order to summon out 2 more fairy monsters from his deck. And as we can see by his little strategy here, is that he's playing counter fairies. This is a deck which uses a lot of counter trap cards. They're kind of like a judgment style deck where they kind of just want to say no to everything and kind of control the board in that sense. I do like, however, that he used Ties of the Brethren to search out Honest, because Honest can then return itself to the hand, and that way his monsters actually have protection from battle, because if I attack them, he's going to use Honest and to increase their attack and then destroy my monster. So I have to play through that, whatever this face down card is, and I can't attack his monsters because they're gonna destroy me by battle for sure. So that's what we kind of have to work through here. So first I'm going to start with Upstart Goblin, draw a card and see what we get. We get another Desires, which is unfortunate. We don't really need to see more Desires right now. And right now I'm really kind of scared of what kind of card that face down card is. So I'm just trying to feel out the waters. I'm trying to see what he might respond to. So I'm going to start off with Terraforming and see if he responds to that. He doesn't negate it, and it doesn't stop me such like Union Hanger, which is a plus. That's great. So I'm going to now use Union Hanger, and I'm going to try and search out more pieces. If he doesn't stop this, which he hasn't, this is kind of saying to me that he isn't really playing anything that's going to stop spell cards. So I'm hoping that he hasn't got any spell negates. Maybe he only has monster effect negates or something that sort of summons. So I kind of have to play around anything that can do that or work through that at first. Union Hanger, when it's activated, allows me to search out another piece. So I searched out A from my deck. And now I'm going to normal summon B, and B, because it is summon, Union Hanger is going to activate, and it's going to let me get C and equip it to it as an equipped spell card. Not that this is relevant, but while C is equipped to the monster, that monster is now protected from trap cards, but that's not really going to help also be too relevant here. And now I'm going to use Danger Jackalope's effect in the hope of discarding my A piece to summon out Jackalope. Unfortunately, Jackalope's effect misses, and we hit Jackalope instead. But that's not too bad, because when Jackalope is discarded and sent to the graveyard, we get to special summon any danger monster from our deck to the field. This can be really cool, because sometimes you can do things like get 2 level 4s on the field in order to summon out a rank 4 monster, but you can even just use it just to get out any monster out, so you can go into a link play as well. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to use our 2 monsters in order to make a monster, and I kind of want to deal with whatever this face down card is ASAP before I go and summon out our Buster Dragon. So we're going to make Nightmare Phoenix. That's going to take 2 monsters with different names on our field. Now I just want you to keep in mind that to summon this monster, I sent my B Buster Drake to the graveyard, and also C Crushed Wyvern went to the graveyard. This is going to be important in a second, but first, Nightmare Phoenix, when it's link summon, is going to activate its effect, and I'm going to discard a Assault Core in order to activate its effect. Now he hasn't responded to this or tried to negate it, so I'm really not too sure what that card is, and I'm actually not afraid of it anymore, because now I have all the pieces I want in my graveyard. After Nightmare Phoenix activated, B Buster Drake just activated, allow me to search out another piece from my deck to my hand. And whenever you already have all 3 pieces, always go and get more copies of B from your deck, because B just keeps on searching you more pieces from your deck, which is really, really cool. Before we carry on our play, like I said, I can't attack into these monsters because he has Honest in his hand. So we need to get these monsters off the field, and I have the perfect card to do so. First, we're going to play Monster Reborn, and Monster Reborn is going to summon back BUSTER Drake. Like I said, always go for BUSTER Drake. It's the best, most abusable one because it gets you more cards. And then we're going to use our Nightmare Phoenix and our Nightmare Unicorn to make a Link free. And that card is going to be Nightmare Unicorn. So I said we use Nightmare Unicorn. Nightmare Unicorn. Now, while Nightmare Phoenix can destroy spells and trap cards on the field, Unicorn can discard a card to shuffle a card on the field back into the deck. So we're going to get rid of Guided Ariadne, shuffle that in and get rid of it. However, we get to activate BUSTER Drake again. That's why these cards are so good, is because they are not hard once per turn. You can use them as much as you possibly can. Now, I choose this time to get Sea Crush Wyvern out of my deck because I'm not going to be able to summon any more cards, so there's no point getting B again because we're not going to be able to summon it, so I'd rather get some more variety, and so I've got Crush Wyvern instead. And this time we're going to activate Pot of Desires in order to banish 10 and draw 2 more cards. We managed to draw Galaxy Soldier and Danger Bigfoot, which is nice. We could summon out Galaxy Soldier, but however, I've only got one light monster in my hands, which means I won't be able to summon out another Galaxy Soldier in order to make Cyber Dragon Infinity, unfortunately. And also, by looking at my banish power, I actually banished the other 2 copies of Galaxy Soldier, so yeah, definitely not going to get Cyber Dragon Infinity in this duel. But that's okay, we have all our pieces in the graveyard, and now we're going to use all of them from the graveyard to summon out our boy, ABC Dragon Buster. ABC Dragon Buster is such a great card and such a really, really wonderful effect. And why we're summoning this out now is because I'm going to be able to use its second effect, and that is I can discard 1 card from my hand and target 1 card on the field and banish it. And so we're going to get rid of his final angel monster and get rid of that card so that I don't actually walk into his honest that's waiting in his hand. And now we're going to attack and do a significant amount of damage, 5,200 in total, and really at this point I'm feeling very, very comfortable. Dragon Buster's effect to discard and banish a card on the field is a quick effect, and if you also notice, I also have Danger Bigfoot in my hand, who triggers when it's discarded. So this means that during my opponent's turn, I have the opportunity to actually just get rid of 2 of his cards instead of just 1 by discarding the Bigfoot for Dragon Buster's effect, which overall is actually really, really nice. Also, I have the ability to summon back my pieces and summon them to the field so I can get even more resources and kind of overwhelm my opponent. And this is kind of the strategy of ABC. Play for their interruption, reduce their card count, and then drop a Dragon Buster on them, and that way they just can't keep up with the amount of cards you have. So he summons Bountiful Artemis here, and he chooses to go to the battle phase, which means he's going to attack me and try to destroy my monster by battle, but we're not going to let that happen. Dragon Buster is going to get rid of Bountiful Artemis and just get rid of it from the field. And yeah, at this point we're coming to the end of the video here, guys, because in a second he's going to surrender, but hopefully this has given you a good idea of what this deck can do. Also, I've tried to change the way we do these videos, so if you've enjoyed this video, enjoy this style with the profile and the gameplay, let me know and leave me a like and a thumbs up and a comment. Thank you guys for watching. As always, I'll see you soon.